Hi guys, this is Yinki. You're welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. And to all my returning subscribers, I appreciate you. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, as I upload new tutorials on this channel almost every week. So today shall be the making of 3 types of headbands. The first one is the one you're looking at, and the second one is the braided type, the one on the screen, and the third one is this scrunchy type. So I'll start by making the first one that you saw on the screen. So the first thing is take your head circumference. So after you have taken your head circumference like so, then you're going to also take another measurement, which will start from the end of one ear to the other. So these are the two measurements you're going to take, and this is 13 inches in my own case, the end of one ear to the other, and my head circumference is 22 inches. So the first thing you will do is get your elastic rubber, and the measurement of this, we have 3 pieces here. The first piece is the largest one, which has 10 inches width and 20 length on fold, which means if you are not folding it, is 40 inches. The second piece is the one that has elastic casing. The length is 22 inches and the breadth is 4 inches. And the third piece is the one that is the scrunchy underlay, and it has breadth 5 inches and length 14 inches. So this is the measurement that will be here. I have 13 inches here, which is the scrunchy underlay. 13 inches plus half inch on both sides for sewing allowance will now give us 14 inches. So here I'm going to fold all those pieces that I have measured. I'll fold it into 2 on the right side, facing the right side, and stitch it like you are stitching a belt. So just stitch with half of an inch like so. Stitch all the 3 pieces like so. So after I have stitched it on the wrong side, I'll be able to turn to the right side. So this is the elastic casing. So I'm going to fold into 2 also on the length and stitch by half of an inch. So make sure that the allowance can house your elastic rubber. So you are free to use any type of elastic rubber. You can use the half inch type if it's for baby. And the last one is the scrunchy underlay. So I'm going to stitch also by half of an inch. And after I have done that, I'll be able to turn it. I'm using this screwdriver, just like a turner, to turn everything to the right side. So this is big enough to be turned by my hand. So I'll be turning this to the right side by my hand, and the remaining will be turned. I could turn this by my hand also, and the remaining will be turned with my screwdriver. So after I have turned everything to the right side, I'll go ahead and press it. I'll go ahead and iron it with low heat, and I'll bring it back to show you what next I'm going to do. So go carefully. So after I have done that, this is what I have after I've turned it, and I've ironed it right now. You can see how flat it is. So get your safety pin and your elastic rubber. The elastic rubber is going to be, since the measurement for my after I've deducted the underlay from my head circumference, I have 8 inches remaining. So I'm going to deduct 2 inches from that 8 inches, and that measurement will be used to cut my elastic rubber. So the elastic rubber is 6 inches. Since after I have deducted 14 inches from 22 inches circumference, I have 8 inches. So I deducted 2 inches from that 8 inches because it is an elastic rubber, so that it will be fair. So just stitch one end like so. Stitch one end so that you'll be able to pull the remaining elastic rubber through the fabric. So I'll go ahead after I have stitched one end like so and pull the remaining out on the other end, and also I'll go ahead and stitch it. So the reason why I deducted 2 inches is because so that it will be firm on my head. That's why I deducted 2 inches from the remaining measurement from the remaining measurement after I have removed the underlay. So I can pull it like so. And the next thing is this underlay, I'm going to pass it through the biggest piece of the headband. So this biggest one is the one that will be scrunched together. So this is the one that will be used to make the ruffles. So I'm going to use this scrunchy underlay to gather the biggest piece. So that's what I'm trying to do. Pass it through as if you are passing the rubber also. Stitch one end down so that everything will be able to go through. I'll stitch one end down. So after I have done that, I'll make sure I centralize it before I stitch it. Then I'm going to pass it through so that it will come out on the other hand, and I'll be able to squish it. So as I'm pulling it, you can see it's forming the scrunchies already. So it has formed the scrunchy nature already. So I'm going to remove the pin, then stitch it down on this end also. Stitch the underlay down. So having done that, what I have now, you can see it's the scrunchy nature is there already. You can see how beautiful it is. So this is the elastic rubber that I have done. I have stitched everything right now. The next thing is to couple it together, centralize it like so, and use the biggest part to wrap the elastic rubber up. So wrap it up on the right side facing the right side of the biggest piece facing the right side of the elastic rubber. Just wrap it up in the middle like so, then stitch it down. So after I have wrapped it up, this is what I have. So I'm going to turn like so. Can you see? To the right side. So I will do the same thing to this other side also. Just place it the way I'm placing it. I've gone back to the right side facing the right side, centralize it, and use the biggest one to wrap it up like so. Just wrap it up in this manner, and after you have wrapped it up, stitch it down by half of an inch. Stitch it down by half of an inch. That's the essence of adding that sewing allowance I added on the scrunchy underlay. So this is what I have. Turning it to the right side, this is what you will have. So turn it to the right side neatly, and then I'm through with my scrunchy headband with elastic rubber. So this is what I have. You can see how beautiful it is. Oh, very very beautiful. You can use your Ankara, you can use your satin, bridal satin to do this. You can use any material you feel like to do this type of headband. It's very beautiful. So we move to the next type of headband, and this is the braided part, the braided headband, like what you're seeing on the screen. So we have length 18 inches on fold. Then you're going also to mark the breadth 5 inches. So having done that, also mark breadth 5 inches here also. And you're going to cut 3 strands of this. 3 strands of this will be cut out, which will be braided. And another piece you will need to get is, okay, the next thing is what you're going to use to pack inside the braids. So, and this is called fiber. You can get it in a furniture store. So you can pieces it together like this and pack it inside, or you can cut it into strands and pass it inside with your like you're passing your elastic rubber. Another piece you need is 5 inches by 6 inches strand, which we use to wrap whatever you have done up, everything. I will show you that when we get there. So go ahead on your sewing machine and fold on the wrong side and stitch by half of an inch as I'm doing. That's what I'm trying to chalk. So stitch by half of an inch like so, and then all the 4 pieces, the 3 strands, and what you're going to use to wrap it up will be stitched by half of an inch, and it has been done. Turn it to the right side. So this is what you're going to do. Turn everything to the right side. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this also with my screwdriver with to the right side. So go ahead. I have turned the two that are on the table already. So turn this one also to the right side, and after you have done that, the next thing to do is to bring out your fiber. So instead of this fiber, if you cannot get this fiber, you can also, wherever they are selling bedding materials, also you can get it there. So you can also get your pillow stuffings and pack it inside. So all these materials that are used to form your throw pillows, so you can use it to, the one that you are no more using, you can use it to form this. So I'm going to pass this each strand inside this braided material that will be used to braid the headband. So I'll pass it through like so. So I'm trying to pass, you must pass it carefully because it is not that, it is very fragile. So I will pass it through carefully. So just pass it through carefully. Then, having done that, this is what I have. I have done it for the 3 pieces, and I'm going to tack it with my needle and thread. So go ahead and tack it down with your needle and thread. Tack it down like so with your needle and thread. So after you have done tacking it down, so the next thing is to start braiding. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So if you have any question, drop it in the comment section. I'm going to reply as soon as I see it. So go ahead and braid it like so, like you're braiding hair. Just go ahead and braid it like so. So if you don't want it to be too big or bogus, you can braid it tight. I hope you get that. Just the way we braid hair. If you don't want it to be too bogus, you can braid it tight, since the material that we pack inside can be compressed. So you can braid it. I'm trying to braid it tight because I don't want it to be too big. So you can braid it very tight if you don't want it too big. So go ahead and do the braiding, and after you are done with the braiding, you can tack the end also with your needle and thread. So go ahead and tack this part also with your needle and thread. Then after you have done that, so you're going to bring the 5 by 6 inches that you will need to wrap it together. And before you do that, tack it together also. Before you wrap it up, tack it together with your needle and thread also. So after you have done the tacking, use this to wrap it up on the wrong side of the wrap, because you are going to turn it to the right side. So let the wrap it up on the wrong side, and having wrapped it up, you're going to stitch. Hold it tight, then stitch it. Make sure you wrap it up tightly, and you're going to tack it with your needle. It will be as if you're stitching it. You can use your machine to stitch at the point, but it won't be convenient because of the headband is big. So use your hand needle. Then here, pay attention to it as you turn it to the right side. This is for cover up. So turn it to the right side and use it to cover up that area that has been stitched together, that has been tacked together, where you join the edges together. So turn it to the right side carefully, bring it out carefully and neatly. So that's what I'm doing here. I hope you can get this. So our braided headband is ready, and you can see it's very beautiful. It's very beautiful. This is our braided headband. You can rock it anyhow, to church, to parties. Very beautiful. So having done this, the next thing to do is to move to the last headband, and this last headband is with plastic, already made plastic headband. So I'll be doing scrunchies on the already made plastic headband. This is the plastic headband. So I'll go ahead and take the measurement of the plastic headband. So after I have taken the measurement, I'm going to double the measurement and scrunched it on the plastic headband. This is very simple to make. So very simple to make. So I have 14 inches on the headband. Whatever measurement your headband is, double the measurement. 14 inches on fold, Since I have folded it, it has been doubled already. So I'll mark 14 inches with my chalk. Then after I have marked 14 inches, I will add extra inches. So I will add extra 4 inches to it. So whatever your headband, plastic headband is, add 4 inches to it, to the doubled measurement. So I'm going to fold it. So on fold, I will have, since the width here is ½ inch, I'm going to double the measurement of the plastic headband. I'll have 1 inch with ½ inch joining allowance. So when I open it up, 1.5 times 2 will now be 3 inches. I hope you get that, because whatever you are going to use here must be the width, must carry the width of your already made headband. So since it has ½ inch, I added ½ inch to that ½ inch width. I have 1 inch and I added ½ inch sewing allowance, making 1.5. So 1.5 on fold will give me 3 inches. That's why I'm marking 3 inches here. So mark 3 inches. So after I've marked 3 inches, the next thing I'm going to do, I have almost 18 inches, then I'll cut it out. So I'll cut it out like so. So having cut it out, I'll go ahead and trim the another part out. Here, after the 14 inches that I marked, you're going to make a bend towards the extreme edge here. Mark 1 inch here. Mark 1 inch at this point, at the extreme end. Then link that 14 inches to that, or 1.5 inch is fine. 1.5 inch of 1 inch is fine, but here I marked 1 inch. So I marked 1 inch here. Then link that 14 inches to the 1 inch that you marked. So you can use a ruler for your hand to be straight. So mark it like so. So this end will not be as wide as the other end. So having marked it, you're going to go ahead and cut it out. So trim it out like so. So having done that, you can fold it into 2 and stitch it on your machine. Or if you don't have a sewing machine, you can go ahead and use your hand to tack it like so. But you're going to just stitch by ½ of an inch. This part will be so tiny, and this is not as wide as the other end. So go ahead and stitch it by ½ of an inch. So that's the next thing I'm going to do right away. So at this point, fold like so. Fold ½ inch inward into the wrong side, then start your stitching. You are not just going to start stitching right away. You fold ½ inch to the wrong side before you start stitching, as you can see in the video. So the essence of this is to have a nice neat edge when you're fixing your ready-made headband. So as you're stitching, I'm going to loose it up a little, like ½ of an inch. I'll loose it up because that's where I'll pass the ready-made headband. So I will leave like ½ inch space where I'm going to loose it up. So what I did in the beginning is what I'm doing at the end right now. I folded ½ inch inward to the wrong side and stitch it just to have a nice neat edge. So having done that, I'll go on right now and turn it to the right side. So I'll use this screwdriver also to turn it. If you have a turner, you can use it to turn it to the right side. So but if you don't have, just use any equipment that can go in. So that part ½ inch that I lose is where I'm passing this ready-made headband through. So you can see, just loose. If you forgot to do that, you can loose it lightly and pass your headband through that opening. Then stitch up the opening after you have done that. After the elastic has entered, stitch up the opening. Stitch the opening up like so with your hand needle. Then pass in your headband. Pass it in so that the scrunchy nature will be able to form as you are passing it in. So the essence of this edge, you get your glue get any type of glue that can glue it very well, pass it in, put it in, and then gum it together. We are almost done with our headband. So make sure you put enough glue to be able to glue this part up very well. So bring it together. Then whatever you have done to this side, you're going to do to the other side also. So whatever you have done to this side, do to the other side, and your headband is ready. You can see how it is. This is also a scrunchy headband. It's very, very beautiful. You can see, very, very lovely. So in this video, we have made 3 types of headband. Very, very beautiful headband. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and like, and also give us a thumbs up, and then also help me share this video. Thank you, and see you in my next video. Until then, bye.